Fatty took 2 stabs and cut down the shadow of Bear. The shadow immediately stood up. Fatty gave him the order. In 30 minutes, the weeds in the yard were pulled out. The shadow was very obedient. Without saying a word, he became a slave to the bear. When Dad came back, he thought the shadow was his own good son. He was sunburnt and still working. I'm so glad. Actually, the master was resting in the room. The useless grass was pulled out. This work efficiency is more useful than the person. Go get me some apple juice. The shadow did as he was told. The bear ordered himself. You're welcome. At this time, the phone downstairs rang. The bear asked the shadow to pick up. It was Xiaoxiang who opened the door. But Shadow can't speak. He can only stand and listen to Xiaoxiang. It's a good thing to pick up the phone. Xiaoxiang Bear wants to return the book. This kind of hard work is not a good thing. Of course, Shadow has to do it. After Bear set Shadow off, he suddenly remembered what Fatty Lon said before. You have to use glue to stick the shadow in 30 minutes. But Bear is a big heart. It doesn't matter if it's more than 10 minutes. On the other hand, Shadow arrived at Xiaoxiang's house. After Xiaoxiang opened the door, he thought it was a sun-dry bear. Shadow handed the book to him and went home. But unfortunately, he met a fat tiger and a little tiger who were going to play baseball. They were going to let this human-shaped bear help them pick up the ball. Shadow listens to everyone and helps the 2 bad guys pick up the ball. At this time, Bai Jia shouted like a fat man. He learned that Shadow went out alone and was very panicked. As time goes by, the shadow will gradually develop his own consciousness and the idea of replacing the master. And the other side of the shadow's body is not as dark as before he produced his own consciousness. He's got his own consciousness. He's got a temper. He's got a temper. He just dropped the gloves and quit. He's not gonna do it if he throws his gloves off Fat Tiger, and Little Tiger don't want to let him go, but they're not real, so it's easy to get rid of them, so they let him go. The brothers were scared. Wasn't that bear a monster? The brothers went out to look for the trace of the shadow. Who would have thought? Who thought the shadow was scheming hiding behind the wall, and rubbing shoulders? Dad was still at home praising his son for drying the grass to make the grass black. So he prepared watermelon to praise him, but he didn't expect to see the running bear. As soon as he opened the door, the room was a mess. They heard from the alley that the dark bear had gone back. This is bad. They were still 1 step late. The blue fat man judged where the shadow must have hidden to delay the time. 2 hours later, the shadow was completely switched with the person. The 2 of them quickly returned home. The old woman saw him and got angry. It's so dirty. Is it itchy? The 2 of them were confused. The shadow had been hiding at home. It must be hiding in a corner of the house. They opened the carpet at home to search. They didn't leave any corner. The blue fat man let the bear see himself. I lost. Why is it so dark? It's already starting to become a shadow. Now we have to find it quickly. They came to the 2nd floor. I didn't expect the shadow to lie on the ground and read comics. Blue Fatty told him to hurry back to the bear. Shadow is not a fool. No. I didn't expect him to be able to speak now. I want to catch him and rely on brute force. But the shadow has no entity. I can't catch it at all. 1 smoke and it's gone. Blue Fatty quickly took out a fox who specializes in catching shadows. This is the only way to catch him. They split up. Unexpectedly, Bear was ambushed by Shadow. Blue Fatty heard the sound and rushed over. But he accidentally hurt the bear, who was covered with mud. Shadow was still provoking. Blue Fatty was completely fooled by him. The house was messed up. After cleaning up the bear, now he is more like Shadow than before. However, Shadow is still provoking. The 2 of them are pissed off. They completely took them for fools. It's been an hour. There's no way to catch him. Bear is crazy. He doesn't want to be Shadow. Gigi Jaja brought in his mother scolding. Blue Fatty suddenly had a solution. You next time.